Well, I have to say, I'm getting to know the dental cavity more and more as I'm doing this work and as it starts to unfold. Um, so today's session is focused on that aspect. Again, there's more work to be done. There are many, many layers to what goes on in the cavity of our mouth and the whole dental system that is there. What I was also shown was it's a very special day today. It's a day where um, something that many of us have been waiting for and working towards, which is to literally get that blindfold off. And it's as if it's a day where those blindfolds come off, or the blinkers, go away. And humans across the planet start to see the world for what it truly is. Now, there have been many of us who have been in that space for a while. And in the next, what was I shown? I was shown in the next 12 hours, literally the blinkers come off all of humanity. And people will it's as if they wake up from a long trance to find what they're seeing was not what they had signed up for. And it's exciting on the one hand that that occurs, but it will also leave many people very confused because they've spent their life believing in a certain way and a certain governance structures, certain leaders, certain approaches with which they show up and conduct their life. So there may be that confusion that may rise, that energy might rise. Our dental cavity is the termination point of the 62,000 channels that run through our entire being, our physical, all the way to the higher self. In Ayurveda, they refer to as Nadi channels, Nadi channels. And so the damage or the clogging of the Nadi channels occurs through our life choices, through what we ingest, both physically as well as emotionally. And the cavity of the mouth, the teeth play a very important role in that ingestion of what takes place. Sometimes we ingest stuff and it is meant to be ingested because it's there in our field, but before it goes into our Nadi channels, it's meant to be digested. A lot of the digestion actually takes place in the mouth. It doesn't necessarily happen. Many foods are not digested in the stomach or the intestine. The digestion takes place in the mouth. And the pancreas are particularly created and formed to be able to release the digestive enzymes through the act of chewing into the mouth to facilitate that digestion process. Digestion is a three-part process. It's a process of ingestion, absorption, and excretion. So, and digestion applies to physical foods as much as it does to emotional experiences that we have. So, the mouth cavity, the dental cavity plays a very big role for connecting those digestion engines, if you like. And the foods that are digested in the mouth are very important feeders of nutrients that feed the Nadi channels very directly from the mouth itself. Foods that are digested in the mouth tend to be foods that are carbohydrates, but they're carbohydrates that grow in grass-like plants. So it could be wheat, it could be rice, it could be corn, those sort of things that are, anything that grows in grass-like forms. That's a really good way to know this stuff gets digested in the mouth. Now, if you can just imagine eating a piece of a piece of bread, you know, dipping it in olive oil or having it in butter or whatever. We don't really wait for that digestion to take place in the mouth. The moment it becomes soft enough, it gets swallowed straight away. Rice often is not chewed until it is liquid. So the digestion actually is incomplete in the mouth. And then this sort of food does not get digested. It actually goes into the stomach and is putrefied. Something like bread, which has sugar and yeast in it, is a very nice way of creating that alcohol experience from the stomach. So sometimes when we refer to as food coma is in fact becoming drunk from the inside with the combination of yeast and sugars and alcohol that gets generated from the inside. That is what often results in food coma. Otherwise, you know, when your blood vessels are concentrating on digesting your food, you don't become comatose. You want to rest, but you don't become comatose. If you start going into the food coma, there's that internal drunkenness that's happening, which means there is some putrefaction that is there, and you've got that alcohol production that is taking place. But actually, energetically, there is another significance of this, which is why there have been various sessions in Beyond Meditation and Human Vibe Attunement that have been allocated to the dental system. So digestion is a process of ingestion, absorption, and excretion. So what about the emotional stuff? What about the experiences that we have? You know, they also go through a digestion process. We ingest the experience, and sometimes that experience is so phenomenal that we totally and completely receive it. And we want more and more and more of it. Other times, the experience is such that we just don't want to even think about it, you know, but we don't absorb the nutrient. So as a result, the low vibe part of that experience hangs in there. And where does it hang in there? Yes, it goes into your body, you know, but the first place it actually impacts are your teeth and your gums. Because that's where this emotional experience that has not yet been digested hangs in for a while. And it has its own toxicity. Now, the teeth, the last time we did the session, I talked about how every tooth has got so many channels that are connected to different parts of our body, that they're connected to different systems in our body. So when you have undigested experience, which has emotional issues attached to it, or there's mental anguish that comes with that, from however it is that experience may have panned out, and you have all of that, you know, in an undigested form, energetically present in your mouth cavity. The teeth and the channels of the teeth then lodge the cellular memory of that experience that is undigested. And they get lodged. First they go to the brain, and from the brain they go somewhere else. And sometimes they just are lodged in the brain itself. And there's an inherent weakness that gets set in. And the organs that harbor this undigested emotional experience and emotional anguish and triggers, they become weak. And the organs themselves, how do they express their weakness? They express their weakness by depleted life force, which then makes them susceptible to dis-ease. And we start experiencing disease, and then we take medication or whatever it is that we take. We still haven't worked through the digestion process. So by focusing our attention on the dental system, we're actually removing the cellular memories that may reside in the different channels of the teeth, the gums, the root, the canals of the teeth. And by uplifting the vibrations to a level of soul presence, where there is that remembrance of indestructible presence of the soul being, the limitlessness, the eternalness, the remembrance of the creator within and the connection to the creator, amplified through the human form's innate vibration of love, we'll uplift the vibration so high that anything that is of a low vibration, without having to process through so many incidents and experiences, we are literally working on focusing our attention on particular places in our teeth, in a dental system, and then bringing in the human vibe attunement to it, we uplift the vibration to such an extent that that uplifted vibration itself removes that which is of a low vibe. So today, last time we got to connect to what made up the dental system. And we did like a high level, very deep dive into the upliftment of the dental cavities. Because of the system of canals that makes up our dental system, the dental system plays a very important role in bringing flow into our life. And as the dental system starts to be up-leveled, the cavity of the mouth starts up-leveling. It's as if we have been engaged in physiological brushing of our teeth and cleaning it and stuff. But when you actually engage with all of that emotional, experiential stuff that has remained undigested, and a lot of the remnants of that still are in this whole dental system where it is stuck somewhere or the other. No doubt people have all over the world, whatever your race or your social status or your age or gender, dental issues are quite prevalent and predominant as a condition that affect people of all ages, all over the world. I recall growing up, and I recall growing up in the north of India. And my grandfather was an Ayurvedic practitioner and a very accomplished one. And so the morning brushing routine was done with something called datun, which is like a twig of the neem tree, where people chewed on it. And of course, as a kid, we didn't do that. My granddad actually made this tooth powder, but we used our finger, and it was like massaging every tooth and massaging the gums with it. It took a long time to clean our teeth in the morning. And literally people, it was like a community thing even, where they were chewing on their datuns and cleaning their teeth. So it's like there was a presencing of themselves that was taking place in the morning. And a detoxification that was being brought about as a result. And I'm sure there were many layers of cleaning up of the cavity of the mouth that was taking place, because people were able to speak, they could share, the sort of things that men didn't do necessarily, but at that time in the morning they were able to do it. So these are all like little pieces that I get shown, when I receive this body of work, and I start seeing where's the evidence of this. And I start being shown these different little pockets of experiences that I have had growing up, where I noticed this play out. And I can see this whole practice of oil pulling, which I have now made into my practice, where for 20 minutes, you're swishing oil backwards and forwards in the morning. And yes, it has its benefits. Like every enamel on my teeth is completely clear, and it's wonderful to run my tongue over my teeth, and it's wonderfully clean. But that's swishing it backwards and forwards. You really need to remain focused on it. I do other stuff, but it is quite meditative in itself. And that happens first thing in the morning. When I'm swishing it in and out, I'm really pulling out, activating those channels, those canals of my teeth. And the tissues of the gums and the jaw, they're like really releasing, the toxins are being pulled out. So this oil that I put in my mouth when I take it out doesn't even look oily, doesn't even look the same color. But I think more importantly, it is the clearing out of the energetic debris that we don't do. The plaque, the infections that we have in our teeth are often an indication of what else have we allowed to be infected by that we are not addressing. And we can go in, there are lots of processes that exist, and that's lots of processes that can be created to get over all forms of emotional distress and mental anguish and, physical discomfort and stuff. I signed up to do the work that I do and share it with the world on the promise that it was going to occur with ease, joy, and grace. So I always ask for the ease, joy, and grace way. And the ease, joy, and grace way is the vibration way, which is to uplift the vibration of whichever part of our physical body is in any form of distress. And as we are upleveling the entire human form, right now we are focusing on particular centers of the body which are connected to all the organs. They feed all the organs, and they actually de-stress all the organs. They're like connecting the dots centers, and the dental cavity is one of those. So we are going to implement the upleveling of the human form by upleveling this, what makes up the dental cavity, into the highest vibration that is in perfect attunement to each one of us. Me choosing to have the vibration of the Dalai Lama is not, it's not mine to do. I am to uplevel it to the highest vibe that is, in tune with who I am. And that applies to each one of you. We can teach each other. We are each other's teachers. We can learn from one another. But I don't have to copy you, and you don't have to copy me. The beyond meditation, Asha asked the question, why is it beyond meditation? It is beyond meditation. This is a phrase that was used by my intuitive guidance, which is why I used it, but a little bit audacious. It's beyond meditation because it's actually very active. It's where you're very engaged. It's a very doing thing. And what you're doing is doing what will enable the soul being to step into its state of being and the human form to step into the state of being. And that brings about the two in a very conscious way, and they come together in complete harmony. And you do it by using very third dimensional phrases and words. And in doing so, you are using the vibrational energy of those words such that you connect to the innate vibration of being human, and you step into a state of allowing. But you have very consciously created the context for this. Meditation does not have so many pieces that are worked through in this way. And this is done with a very specific intent of releasing that deep-seated inner conflict. So the first step to releasing a conflict is to acknowledge the conflict exists. And the conflict is the soul being feeling diminished, confined by the human form, and enduring its existence in the human form, waiting to go home somewhere. The Beyond meditation brings that realization to the soul being, this is home. Home is where you are, and you are right now in this human form. So how can this human form be a home for something that is indestructible, that's omnipresent, that is, eternal? And then the recognition takes place where the human form gets to understand, aha, I am not this form thing. I am actually a frequency of love, which is an amplifying frequency. And the form does not confine a vibrational frequency. The form just enables for us to actually play the game of exquisite, enchanting relationships, because we are on this planet called Earth, and the Earth is a playground for that. Right, so why the soul decides, okay, it's sort of not going to play as hard because this human form is not, strong enough. And the human form is desperately trying to, be recognized and acknowledged, and sometimes beating itself up. But what the Beyond meditation does is it just takes all of that away, and in a very active way engages your mind, recognizing that it has a role to play and honoring the function that it has performed up to now, connects it to its brothers, the heart, which is in the now, and the gut, which is holding all this phenomenal wisdom anyway. So the mind now realizes, okay, it does not have to be the one running the show. And it allows. The heart is already in the now, so it already is. A heart is always in the frequency of love. The gut is sometimes very tightly holding on to the wisdom that you're born with, just in case you allow it to get contaminated. So you have all sorts of issues around the muscle performance of the gut. And other times it is like, giving up. And then what we do with this Beyond meditation, we literally bring all of that together. The gut understands, okay, right, I'm here. I really am another heart. I'm another brain. The heart gets, I am the heart and I'm also a brain. That actually gets this body to work, and the brain recognizes that, it has a function, which is to survive, to make sure that this human physical form survives. It is not the soul. It is not even the human. It is just a physical manifestation of it, and even in its physicalness, it is a collection of cells that are vibrating. The Beyond meditation in this realization awakens every cell that makes up this human form to the vibration of love, the frequency of love. And they step into it, they own it, they recognize it. And as they do that, the soul comes home. And it starts to acknowledge itself as a human, receive itself as a human, and accept itself as a human. And when that happens, it's like a jolt. The rocket ignition is started and the rocket takes off. The human form then steps into the acknowledgement of itself as a human, receives itself as a human, and accepts itself as a human. And that deep-seated wound of separation that actually was coming from the soul being feeling conflicted, that wound completely disappears. The conflict releases, and we come home as one. Destination arrived. And our destiny that we have held at an arm's length and sometimes attributed the power to planetary positions and astrology and all that sort of stuff. Destiny is the destination which has already arrived. And the destination is the soul merging with soul being. Beyond meditation makes that happen. The soul merges with the soul being, and it does so in this human form. And the two together, it becomes a partnership of co-creators. The beyond meditation, the human vibe attunement brings about that change, that transformation from being in alignment to being in flow to actually being in coherence. So when you start experiencing that very deep state of trance or sleep that sometimes happens during the session or afterwards, you're experiencing the coherence of you. And in that coherence, that 30 minutes is equivalent to 3 days of deep sleep. We are literally applying that, which is such a high level of vibrational presence. When we are working on the different organs, we are applying that. And many of you are sharing with me personally some of the effects you're experiencing as we've been working through the different organs. And that's because we are using this vibrational approach. Acknowledging and honoring the discomfort and the disease, not ignoring it, not going, why me? Not going, if only, but just acknowledging it. And in our acknowledgement, we get permission at a cellular level from our cells to allow themselves to be uplifted. And it's as if they just drop themselves into this downstream flow of being uplifted to the highest vibrational frequency, which is in the rhythm of you. So, with that explanation as a foundation, we're going to start the work on the dental cavity, the next chapter. So allow yourself to be comfortable. You can close your eyes at this point. Sit up, preferably on a chair. And if you can't sit on the chair, just remember, be comfortable. Back upright is great. If you can't do that, you need to lie down. Be responsible for your own comfort. Lie down. Imagine that the base of your spine is connected to the core of the earth. If you are lying down, there are 3 particular spots where you are connected to the core of the earth. One is where your head joins your neck, that bridge. And there's another one which is there right in the middle of your middle back. And there's a third one which is there on either side of your pelvic girdle. And there's a fourth one that is there just behind your knees where the calf muscles begin. So you have those golden cords, they're all connected to the core of the earth. It is quite interesting. If any of you want to experience this form of connection another time, you can do that. Precious metal gold is present. The golden cord has now been added to with a couple of other metals. So there is bronze and there is copper. And there is the presence of tourmaline and amethyst. We in fact have a really large amethyst crystal in the center of our circle. You're now going to start scanning your body from the top of your head, about 6 inches above your crown. Work your way in concentric circles as you get to the base of your feet. And this time I want you to literally move really fast. So you just whirl around your body like a spring from the top to the bottom, all the way to the base of your feet. And just notice a huge release of any energies that no longer serve you. Come back right up, 6 inches above your crown, work your way around, round, 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 round. Circle, 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 circle. Come all the way down to your feet. And then just breathe out. And it's like shh. Another round. Go right up. And go into a very brisk, creating those circles all around you. It's as if you're creating a centrifugal force. And what that centrifugal force is doing is it's literally deflecting off that which no longer serves, but it's precipitating some other stuff that does not belong, and leaving that very clear alchemical reaction of you in your highest vibrational frequency, where the soul and the human form are one. So just do another 2 rounds of go back up to the top of your crown, 6 inches above, and work your way around in very rapid concentric circles, all the way down to the base of your feet. And the last one, go back up to the top of your crown, 6 inches above. Work your way round, 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 round. Go all the way down to the base of your feet and release. Many of you who have your pineal, your third eye, slightly open will be feeling a lot of activity right now there, because it's time for that third eye to open. You know, as the blinkers are coming off. It'll take about 2 weeks for the blinkers to completely come off, but it's literally going to be like one after the other between now and midnight Manhattan time. The precipitation that has taken place, and it's a precipitation of toxins that are energetic toxins that may have been coagulated anywhere at all. Toxins that sometimes have been clogging the dental canals. Toxins that might have built up because of root canal capping that many people have gone through, which has left some bacterial life forces inside, and that have been impacting people's brain function as well as depleting life force. So that all of that has been precipitated. And that precipitation now is being cleared out with the amethyst crystal. I'm seeing that Uruguayan amethyst that I don't have behind me right now, but I usually do. I have it at home. I call him the wise old man. The wise old man amethyst is literally taking out that precipitation. It has got life being, it has got life force of other beings, it has got entities, it has got energies that no longer serve, experiences, thoughts, promises that haven't been kept, that you haven't kept, resentments, judgments that you hold, all of that. Unrequited love, unrequited acceptance, all of those things. It's literally being taken out by the amethyst. You're now left with that clear, illuminated, liquid, light presence of your unique light. Some of you will see the color of what that light is. And for others, just see yourself stepping in. This is like your own baptism equivalent, except it is you're being baptized by your own light. So your bodies are just so ready to receive that frequency, and that frequency is first being ingested in the mouth. And it is going into the dental cavities. It is going into the dental canals. And as your own light is going into the dental canal, just like a dentist or a doctor shines that very sharp light to find what else is there to be cleaned, it's your own light that is shining. You've got a permanent presence of these lights that can switch on and off at your command. As you go in and you work through incident by incident, which you have not digested, which was meant to be digested in the mouth. All you are to do right now, you don't need to go incident by incident. You will probably see an amalgamation of all of these different experiences and incidents. You will see how many such cavities and plaque formations and stuff that exists in that dental cavity. It'll be in the energetic form. Your mouth, some of your mouths may be feeling very dry at this point. Some may be feeling very, very tight. There might be some stiffness. Just see your light just penetrate that. I know that there are some people here who are experiencing fever, nausea, tiredness, deep-seated tiredness, can't seem to shake off. It's just that a lot of toxicity has been surfaced, and by using your light to shine through, you are achieving a transmutational effect. So the toxins get released. With every breath you take, toxins are released, and what remains starts to transmutate itself. Just allow yourself to run through tooth by tooth by tooth. You may not know the entire expanse of each teeth. It literally is like an iceberg, by the way. There's only a tiny amount that is out. Bulk of it is beneath. That's why those of you who have tooth extractions, it's a very big job. Huge job. So if you've had that experience, your cells in that whole region will be traumatized with that experience. So we are actually bringing the energetic presence of healthy teeth back into the mouth. So the trauma and distress that may be held in your gums, in your jaws, starts to release itself. You may find a little bit of readjustment of your mouth, crackling in the ear, maybe even a bit of crackling of the jaw. And you'll notice your gums clasping on your teeth much tighter than they did. If any of you experience bleeding gums, you will notice a very definite difference tomorrow where they will not have any need to bleed. Your own light has now been lodged into each tooth and its entire presence in your mouth. And your own light is going to use its own frequency. And as you speak, as you utter your words, as you make any sound whatsoever, it's going to find your innate rhythm and combine that with your light to bring about the ultimate healing of your dental cavity. Your dental cavity and the teeth, as well as whatever remains if your teeth are removed, they are like the archives. They are the archives of all of your life's experiences. They're very tightly intertwined with the mind. So your mouth and what happens in the mouth cavity is a very good indicator of whether something is acceptable, something is not, whether you're frightened, whether you're joy-filled. It's as if your mouth responds before any other part of your body does. Well, because it is this ancient archive library of all the meanings you have ever given to any incidents that have taken place in your life. We're just acknowledging all of that, not making it good, not making it bad. We are acknowledging it all. Okay, we now have launched the frequencies of your light and the resonance of the sound of you. That is lodged in your dental cavity. We're now going to up-level the vibration. We'll begin with the 946 breath. So all our chakras are opened up. And your mind and your heart and your gut are in attunement. And then we'll go ahead with the human vibe, attunement chant. So breathe in 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just take a breath in, deep breath into your heart. You're going to allow your heart to pump away love, kindness, and compassion. And you're breathing out gratitude and peace. You allow that rhythm of breathing in love, kindness, and compassion, and breathing out gratitude and peace. Allow that to continue. And as it continues, we're going to step into the human vibe attunement. Repeat after me. This is your human form that has now received the soul presence and its declaration of being human. And the two are harmonically expressing themselves through the human form in its amplified vibrational frequency of love. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. So allow yourself to be, for a few minutes, experiencing the joy of your illumination, of your resonance, of your light, presencing the harmony that comes about with your soul being and the human form being one. Take your hands in front of your heart, rub them against each other, put them over your eyes, open your eyes in them, take them on top of your head, the back of your neck, either side of your shoulders, into an energy sleep. So what we've initiated, on Thursday and today, and that combined with the blinkers coming off experience, it'll take the next 2 weeks to settle in. So, notice, all there is to do is to notice. Also notice how you feel about it and acknowledge that. There's nothing to fix, nothing. There never has been anything to fix. And all there is to do is to allow. And if anything comes in the way of allowing, do your own 9-4-6 breath. Do the human chant in your own way. And you will keep landing in the center of you. We've plugged in, we've invoked, we've activated, and we have anchored the illumination of you and the rhythm of you. And we've done that in your teeth, which are connected to all the different organs, and they are connecting the dot centers. So simply allow. With that, I declare the human vibe, attunement, and the beyond meditation complete. And you know, I'll always love to hear your word or your sentence even that you're present to in the chat. So that would be really great. I look forward to that. Share more in the WhatsApp group that we have created. Thank you for those who are sharing. It makes a very big difference to everyone. Amazing session. First time I realized the importance of my teeth and how emotions, important tool in my happiness and the joy of this beautiful organ. So true. Splendor, beauty, 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 splendor, indeed, divine union power. Health is wealth, yes. Thank you for the information, sending love to all. Thank you. Fully alive in love. Thank you so much. Thank you so much from me. And, you know, don't just get up and rush, you know, just be for a bit. And then when you're guided, that's when you get up. There is nowhere, there's no need to rush to anything. Allowing is the practice. Allowing is the practice. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Perfect timing. Fully alive in love. Thank you. Extraordinary, exciting. Yes. Thank you very much. Blessed. Much gratitude to Mynoo and everyone here. Indeed. Divine light. Releasing, releasing, releasing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This session was beautiful. Allowing, thank you. With that, I declare our session complete. It's always difficult to end the meeting, and I am going to end it now. Thank you so much for being here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you again on Tuesday.